Chapter 707. Are you actually disappointed by me? Even though Tang had made things extremely clear for her, Duan Jinghong couldn't help but consider her friendship with Shin when asked to testify against her. Even though she didn't want to be so emotional, even though she almost lost her legs, she still didn't want to do it. Sometimes, people just didn't know what was good for them, monsieur. Yet, there were times when she would happily skin Shin alive and pull out every tendon in her body. Tang glanced at Shin. After seeing the complex look in her eyes, she let out a sigh. It seems you still need time to think it over. But I must warn you, everything that Shin has done will definitely be exposed sooner or later. After speaking, Tang stood up from the sofa to leave. But before she reached the door, Duan Jinghong suddenly asked, "How much do you hate Shin?" Quote, "I'll show you with my actions," Tang answered without looking back before she left the room. Monsieur. Duan Jinghong slowly relaxed. At this moment, she finally realized how afraid of Tang she was and how panic-stricken she was around her. On the way home, Mo Ting wrapped his arm around Tang and protectively guarded her stomach, afraid that she may suffer any slight bump. Your chat with Duan Jinghong didn't go well? Quote, "Yes. It's obvious that Duan Jinghong hasn't lost all faith in Shin," Tang replied. "Either way, it's good that she still has a conscience. Duan Jinghong has a conscience, but Shin may not." Quote, "If Shin had a conscience, she wouldn't have planned out so many inhumane schemes. Worst of all, she didn't even show mercy towards children or the elderly. Duan Jinghong will definitely testify against Shin sooner or later." Tang was certain of this. Even though her conversation with Duan Jinghong did not go smoothly, she knew that Duan Jinghong was merely remaining silent because she had not been hurt deep enough. So, Tang was going to let them continue fighting amongst themselves. No, to be exact, she was going to let Shin continue to scheme against Duan Jinghong. Ever since staying the night in the resort village bed and breakfast owned by An Zihao's friend, Chen Xingyan went home after work a lot more often. Under normal circumstances, An Zihao would deliberately remain on set to check the progress of filming. Firstly, he needed to keep an eye on Ling Long in case she played any tricks. But more importantly, it made it more convenient for him to take Chen Xingyan straight to the resort village after filming was done. Whether handling business matters, cooking a meal together, or simply staring into space, as long as they got to spend time together, they were satisfied. After all, it was Chen Xingyan's first relationship. If she could, she would spend 24 hours stuck to High Monsieur because of her affection. And Zihao felt like he had gotten a lot younger. Meanwhile, after Ling Long tricked Chen Xingyan, the crew pretended like nothing had happened. However, they found every opportunity to help Chen Xingyan create trouble for Ling Long. As a result, Ling Long also experienced the desperation of being left on the mountain by herself. To enhance Ling Long's pitiful situation, the crew even made sure that it was a rainy day before they implemented their plan to trick her. Ling Long came crying back to the director that night to complain. But she was told that the director was having dinner with people from Hairui. Needless to say, Mo Ting was definitely here to get justice for his sister. Our President Mo only has one sister. If she gets bullied by nobody like this, what would happen to his pride? Quote, "We will naturally handle it," the director replied apologetically. "We will take good care of Xingyan. Tell President Mo not to worry. In that case, I'll leave Chen Xingyan with you." Quote, at that time, Ling Long was eavesdropping from the door. After finding out that the director had spoken to Hairui, she no longer had the courage to pick on Chen Xingyan. Although the public was rumoring that Chen Xingyan was Mo Ting's sister, Mo Ting had never admitted to it, so Chen Xingyan continued to try her luck. But now, Even if someone gave her 10 lifetimes of courage, she would be too afraid to oppose Chen Xingyan again. Chen Xingyan wasn't aware that Mo Ting had sent someone to help her. Ever since being in a relationship, apart from placing her focus on filming, the rest of her time was spent on Zihao. No matter what time of day, all she thought about was how to take advantage of him and steal some kisses. That night, the couple were once again resting at the bed and breakfast, and Zihao was helping Chen Xingyan study her script. But the little brat's mind was elsewhere. "Are you listening?" And Zihao lifted his head and noticed that Chen Xingyan was staring at him. So his voice became a little angered. "If you give me a kiss, I will memorize this entire scene." And Zihao took a deep breath as he looked at Chen Xingyan and noticed that her mind was elsewhere. He had no choice but to give up. "I've spent so much effort to support you. Why can't you be more serious? Do you know how many people would dream of having your luck?" Quote, "As I've said before, my dream has always been to be a stunt double. Of course, that is now in the past because you are now my only interest." Chen Xingyan responded, "That's because you are still young and your mind is not yet fully mature. I'm starting to wonder if being with you so soon was a good thing or bad thing." After hearing this, Chen Xingyan's expression suddenly changed, like she had been unexpectedly stung by something. "When you're with me, can't you refrain from talking about work? It's not like I haven't done what you've asked me to do." Quote, and Zihao understood Chen Xingyan's temper, so he did not argue back. He simply nodded his head. "I won't talk about work anymore. Let's go to sleep. Are you going to sleep with me?" Quote, "Chen Xingyan, are you aware of your age?" And Zihao asked. Chen Xingyan took the opportunity to lie on Zihao's body and steal a kiss before quickly moving away. And Zihao was helpless against her. So, after coaxing her to sleep, he went to fetch a blanket to sleep on the sofa. But, after turning off the lights, Chen Xingyan suddenly asked, "Are you going to sign another artist? For example, someone like Annie?" Quote, "I'm not sure," and Zihao replied. "If you have a superstar in your hands, will you give up the idea of signing someone else?" Quote, "Perhaps." And Zihao, "Are you actually disappointed by me?" Quote, this time. And Zihao did not respond. He had already fallen asleep. But Chen Xingyan continued to lay in bed, unable to sleep. For some reason, she felt a little disappointed by herself. However, she was born without restraint. If love arrived at her doorstep, she wasn't going to think too much. Meanwhile, Zihao actually had his own pressures. After all, Chen Xingyan wasn't anyone else. She was Mo Ting's sister. And what type of person was Mo Ting? Zihao knew better than anyone that Mo Ting's sister wasn't someone that anyone could be with, especially since his sister wasn't even 20 years old yet. He really wanted to present some results to Mo Ting, so he could at least prove that he was worthy of being with his sister. But the little brat in bed wasn't very cooperative. Chapter 708. Always hold back a little, in case we meet again. Tang Ning's expectations were right. Song Shin visited Duan Jinghong at the hospital early the next morning. Although Duan Jinghong knew why Song Shin was here, she did not hate her as much as she thought when she actually saw her again, even though she abandoned her on the first day of the incident to protect herself. "Jinghong, I need your help." Xiao Yuhei had already prepared a PR tactic, but Song Shin was afraid that things would go wrong when it came to Duan Jinghong. So, she still pretended to be hated by the public and that she had no one to rely on. "In my current state, how can I help you?" Duan Jinghong asked with self-ridicule. "In order to bring me down, Tang Ning will definitely come to look for you. But my career has already fallen into a slump. I can't afford to lose my chance at making a comeback as well. So, can you leave Beijing and not let anyone find you? I swear, as long as I return to my former glory, I will take you back and treat you well." Duan Jinghong wasn't charmed by Song Shin's words, as her expression remained calm and even a little indifferent. Has President Xiao prepared something for you to fall back on? Quote. Song Shin froze for a moment. Slowly a fake smile appeared on her face. Why would you think that? Quote. Tang Ning's already spoken to me, Duan Jinghong revealed calmly. She hoped that I would testify against you, but I did not agree, because I thought about our past. We've fought side by side since our university days. Even though you've turned evil, I will never have the heart to treat you ruthlessly. Tang Ning's already spoken to you. Song Shin completely ignored Duan Jinghong's kind gesture and simply latched onto the fact that Duan Jinghong had already met with Tang Ning. So, she naturally didn't trust Duan Jinghong. She didn't trust her at all. Yes, she came to see me last night. Tang Ning's offer must have been very attractive. Song Shin suddenly fell into a panic. Was she going to make a move on someone that she had worked with for many years? At this moment, you must be thinking of a way to deal with me, right? Duan Jinghong understood Song Shin well, as she directly exposed her. I wonder if you feel even the slightest bit of uneasiness. Song Shin's gaze darkened as she noticed an unusual sense of danger in Duan Jinghong's eyes. I promise you, I'll leave. In the end, Duan Jinghong surrendered and came to a compromise. I'll leave immediately. At this moment, in Song Shin's eyes, she assumed that everything that Duan Jinghong did was a part of Tang Ning's plan. So, even though Duan Jinghong said she'd leave, Song Shin was still not at ease. No, don't leave. Come live with me instead. Hearing Song Shin's suggestion, Duan Jinghong laughed in ridicule but did not say a word. Tang Ning probably foresaw this moment. You won't be able to take me with you, Duan Jinghong explained calmly. Tang Ning has arranged for 4 bodyguards to guard the door. Song Shin looked at her in surprise. Guys, come in, Duan Jinghong yelled towards the door. This was a sign that Song Shin was about to lose her chance to ever see Duan Jinghong again. You betrayed me in the end and became a follower of Tang Ning's. After hearing this, Duan Jinghong was quite amused. You're the one that's always prioritized your own interests. Song Shin, don't compete with Tang Ning. As a friend, this is my last warning. Also, I would like to remind you that Tang Ning knows that you tried to kill her child. I assume she will exhaust all means to make you pay back. Good luck on your own. Quote. Song Shin glared at Duan Jinghong. In the end, she could only brush her off and leave. Song Shin was powerful because she was vicious and knew how to use her background as the granddaughter of an official to do whatever she wanted. But Tang Ning was powerful because she knew how to play with people's minds. Xiao Yuhei promised Song Shin that he'd help her divert the public's attention. So he decided to find someone to take the blame. But Tang Ning did not give him the chance. Even if she didn't use Duan Jinghong, she still had other ways to strip Song Shin of her chance to make a comeback. Come have a look at the latest entertainment news. It's regarding the follow-up to the plagiarism claim against the lost relative. Everyone knows that a certain chain of theaters refused to screen The Lost Relative even before its original release date. This theater chain is the rising star in the industry, Kai Huing. An insider revealed that the heir of Kai Huing is currently pursuing Song Shin. To please her, he has thrown away quite a lot of money. After all, everyone knows that The Lost Relative has made over $400 million since its release. I wonder if the shareholders of Kai Huing have fainted in anger. The battle between Song Shin and Tang Ning has been left to intensify on its own. Although Tang Ning has never given a response, it's clear to see that President Mo has zero tolerance for stuff like this as her manager. Judging by the level of importance that Hai Rui has placed on this issue, I think it's clear what's going on. An insider also revealed that the heir apparently plans to spend some money to divert the public's attention. Although I don't know if it's true or not, it seems he is truly in love with her. Xiao Yuhei was planning to spend money to help Song Shin divert the public's attention. With this pre-warning, Tang Ning was going to see how Xiao Yuhei planned to make a move. Even if he made a move, would the public be swayed by him? Hairui did not deal with Song Shin yet. Firstly, they didn't have evidence, and secondly, they had not finished playing with her. Regardless of whether Song Shin knew what she had done was wrong or not, Tang Ning was going to make her pay. After losing the last chance she had, Song Shin looked at the scolding words online and finally broke down. She enjoyed scheming against others. In fact, it was very satisfying for her. But when she was put in the receiving end, she was suddenly helpless. This indirectly proved that being relentless and having a high EQ were two very different things. Just because someone was relentless, it didn't mean that they were intelligent. But those that had a high EQ could also be relentless, and Tang Ning was one of them. Monsieur. Of course, Song Shin did have a bit of intelligence. Xiao Yuhei witnessed Song Shin breaking down, but there was nothing he could do. So, he naturally felt angry. In response, after Song Shin fell asleep, he gave his secretary a phone call and told her to contact Hairui and pass on a message to Mo Ting. Always hold back a little, in case we meet again. Quote. Hairui's secretary passed the message on to Lu Che. But, when Lu Che heard it, even he had to snort in contempt. Why didn't Song Shin hold back a little when she schemed against others? There were plenty of hypocrites in this world that couldn't be stopped. Of course, Lu Che passed the message to Mo Ting, word for word, but Mo Ting's response was, "Let Xiao Yuhei know that this matter has not ended yet. The amount that Song Shin has lost isn't even 1/1000th of what others have experienced." Hit the like, thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for listening.